Well, staying with TVC Breakfast, as the globe commemorates World No Tobacco Day today, a coalition of groups canvassing an end to tobacco use in Nigeria has called on the government to enforce laws prohibiting smoking in public places. It also wants an increase in the tax on tobacco. TVC News' Joke Adisa reports.
The Nigeria Tobacco Control Act prohibits smoking in public places, but enforcing the law has been a challenge. This is why the focus for the 2022 World No Tobacco Day is the impact of tobacco on the environment. Experts say the environment and the second-hand inhalers are negatively impacted with public smoking.
Zaria used to be a huge belt of tobacco cultivation. I'm not sure many tobacco cultivation is going on around that taxes today. Yet tobacco companies will tell you that a lot of farmers are going to die. So those are questions that even some of us are waiting for answers.
Statistics show that 8 million people die globally every year from tobacco-related diseases. Of this figure, 29,000 are Nigerians.
Of tobacco, we know people do it themselves.
These activists pushing for an end to smoking and other forms of tobacco use find a flaw in the Nigeria Tobacco Control Act of 2015, which designates certain places for smoking.
How can we operate in a country that we have a law, we have a regulation, but people behave as if nothing is happening? The people that were forced is that they're not smoking. We're not saying they should not smoke. I know they can smoke. It's their right. Though, right? They want to take the poison, let them take the poison. But protect the rights of other people.
If we're saying tobacco farming needs to be eradicated, it's the government's responsibility to ensure that there are alternatives for the farmers.
The coalition wants Nigeria to raise its 25% tax on tobacco to far above ECOWAS benchmark of 50% to WHO's 75%.
When taxes are raised on tobacco, it brings about cessation in smoking. So when it brings about cessation in smoking, that definitely people that smoke directly and indirectly will be reduced. And an effective tobacco taxation will also discourage intending smokers from picking up smoking.
The coalition insists tobacco throughout its life cycle contaminates the environment and impacts adversely on the health of consumers and non-consumers. It seeks an end to smoking in movies and tax government and the health community to rise in defense of the citizens. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.
Let's talk about this now. Joining us from our Abuja studio is the Executive Director, Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa, CAPA, Akibode Oluwafemi. Thanks a lot for joining us on TVC Breakfast. Talking about the laws existent in Nigeria, in our laws regarding, banning smoking in open places. What's the main challenge? I mean, why hasn't this been enforced yet?
Thank you very much. We have the National Tobacco Control Act and the National Tobacco Control Regulation. And these two laws gave very copious provisions about how to regulate, manufacturing, consumption of tobacco products in Nigeria. As it were, as at today, the government seems to be lagging behind in enforcing the provision of smoke-free public places. Because going by the law, you need to get a permit from the Federal Ministry of Health to operate what is called DSA, designated smoking areas. To the best of our knowledge, nobody is displaying such permits in places where you have people smoking in designated smoking areas. Also, the fact that Nigerians still smoke in some of those places designated as smoke-free. So we need to see some level of enforcement at the level of the Nigerian government. We also call for what we call citizens enforcement. Tobacco smoking is about our rights, about our health, and people need to make people abide by the law by saying, wait a minute, this is a public place, you cannot smoke, and there is a law that protects my health.
Well, cynics believe that what we should do about tobacco is that we should just tax and tax and tax, and maybe we'll make a lot of money from the industry, because they believe that, tobacco cannot actually, as an addiction, cannot be taxed out of anybody's craving. That what you need to do is make as much money out of it. And secondly, because addiction is what it is, some people believe that this idea of campaigning against tobacco is just a lost cause. We have had tobacco for a long time, and people continue to smoke because they want to do it. I mean, I remember this the quote from St. Augustine, who said, "Oh Lord, give me chastity and continence, but not yet." Which means that the addiction is always with us. What do you say?
Okay, so figures they said online. Truly, globally, about 5 trillion cigarette sticks are smoked every year. Now, that number of cigarettes causes about 8 million deaths globally. And let me tell you, to produce those cigarettes, about 600 million trees are cut every year. About 84,000 tons of CO2 are released into the atmosphere. About 22 trillion cubic meters of water are wasted. So today is to then remind all of us that beyond the economic benefits to the tobacco companies is the fact that tobacco is a threat to us as human beings, is a threat to the environment, is a threat to our planet. And yes, we have already said it, there are so many tools in the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control that governments can adopt to be able to reduce consumption. One of them is taxation. And we have always called on the Nigerian government to increase taxes on tobacco products in Nigeria. When you look at the African region, for instance, apart from Liberia, Nigeria taxes on tobacco is among the lowest. You go to Benin Republic, it's about $2 plus. Here in Nigeria, it's about $1. We have 20% ad valorem and 58 naira specific tax. The ECOWAS sub-region recommends 50% ad valorem and about 122 specific tax on each pack of cigarette. So we continue to wonder why the Nigerian government is subsidizing smoking, where we're losing about 29 billion every year in treating diseases that are related to tobacco. So the onus rests on the government to begin to look at tools that work. And from what you said about addiction, I want to confirm to you that statistics that we have seen globally shows that these tools, they work. Figures from 2007 to 2019 shows that globally, smoking has decreased from 22% to 19%. But let me tell you this, that decrease is not happening in our region. It's not happening in Africa because the tobacco companies are shifting here. It's our responsibility to organize ourselves behind those tools that work and ensure that we protect the planet and we protect our health.
All right. There has been a continuous campaign against smoking, and a lot of people have said that the moral suasion thing is a way to go because it's a habit of the people. Now, there has been, instructions and policies to even have inscriptions written on the packs of cigarettes and all of that. How impactful have all of this moral suasion against smoking been all the while?
So I just mentioned to you that global statistics shows that this works. We just need to sit down to say, what are we doing right? What do we need to do more? Now, when you look at the cigarette packs in Nigeria today, you find out now that they now carry pictograms of what tobacco causes to the body. And that took us a very long time to be able to convince and achieve and then get the tobacco companies to do that. We will continue, what you call the public enlightenment like we're doing here today. We will continue to engage the people, but we will also, most importantly, work for the policies that we know will work, the tools that we know are working, so that we will be able to see the kind of reduction that we are now seeing in the global West.
Let me also ask where the place of more advocacy this time around targeting users, chain smokers and the like, because the perception out there is for people who are addicted not just to smoke, getting them to stop just like that might also have some reactions, of course, from body to body. So where is the place of this while they're talking to government? We even hear you also want smoking to be banned in movies. Where is the place of this personal engagement?
Okay, so we do engage in mass advocacy. We try to engage the youths. I think today there's going to be a march in Abuja, and I know there are so many activities around the country today from different NGOs to sensitize the populace. Then we also use digital media and the rest of them. All these put together are what we think will be able to convince people and make people to drop the stick. I think last year, World No Tobacco Day was also about quitting. So there is a lot. I know of some NGOs that are also working in Nigeria, helping people, offering quitting assistance. I know the Federal Ministry of Health has trained medical doctors who are first line of contact about how to give counseling, about how to drop tobacco products. It's a comprehensive package that we think will get Africa out of this snare that tobacco companies is putting us.
All right. We thank you very much, Mr. Akinbode Oluwafemi, for speaking with us.